Now, there is a tendency for all of us to try and find things external to us that we can blame for not having the body that we want and for not having the level of health that we need. It's very easy to do that because there tends to be so many things going on around us, so many things that we've accumulated into our lifestyle that make it very difficult to find time, energy, even money and resources to focus on ourselves. It's like, oh, I know I kind of need to. There is a part of me that wants to, but there's just too much going on. My work's too busy at the moment. My responsibilities within my relationship with my partner and my kids, they just keep me too busy. And I don't have the time or the energy or even the desire half the time to go and work on myself when I'm trying to take care of all these other things that I need to juggle. Now, whilst in the moment, it can feel like it's not my fault. It's because all these other things are happening. And then we could even take it a stage further and go, oh, well, the fact that they're trying to poison us with the food, that most of the food that they try to sell us is fucking junk. So therefore, of course, my body's going to be shit because most of the food that's available is crap and not really going to help me improve my health and improve my state of body fat and all the rest of it. So because of that, it becomes very easy to blame all of these different things external to us. Now, I'm going to have you consider that maybe the only person to blame is ourselves. Now, it can be a harsh reality and often an uncomfortable truth to come to terms with. But the catch is, even if it's not our fault, then it's still our responsibility. So it may be a case of, well, yeah, all these things are happening outside of me and I cannot control all of those things. But the catch is my body and my health is still my responsibility. So therefore, it's down to me to find a way to still take care of myself, regardless of all these things that are going on external to me. Will it be easy? Not necessarily. But that's why we have to keep it simple. You've heard me talk about that before. I'm sure I always talk about simplify in order to multiply. And it's because when we try to overcomplicate things, what tends to happen is we actually end up further away from our health goals than we were in the first place, because we try to make it so challenging that we can't actually stick to the new habits or the new behaviors that we set for ourselves. And therefore, our health just continues to decline over time. And of course, the further away from our goal we end up, the harder the journey looks like it's going to be. The greater the challenge appears it's now going to be, because, well, before I only had 10 pounds to lose. Now I've got 20 or 30 or 50 pounds that I need to lose in order to get to my goal. So that's why ideally we would take responsibility early. And what you would find if you guys ever come to work with me, the number one thing that we learn in metabolic mindset is we have to take a ruthless responsibility for self, because nobody else will do it for us. Nobody else can do it for us. And unfortunately, no one is coming to save us. So we have to get to a point where we're like, you know what? I'm going to save my fucking self here. Regardless of all this shit going on around me, I need to find a way to make this shit work for me. Will it take a bit of time? Maybe. But often if we do the right things and focus on the small steps that will actually move the needle, then we find that we can get results without it being too stressful, too chaotic, too overwhelming. And it enables us to continue taking action on a repeated basis and consistently enough to actually get the results that we want. But we have to first get out of this blame game, because what often happens eventually is we go, oh, I blame this thing, I blame this thing, I blame this thing. Then we have to be careful, because when we now take responsibility, if we're not careful, we just turn that blame on ourselves. And it's like, well, now it's you, you're the problem, you're this and that. And yes, we are the problem, and we're also the possibility. Because what we have to remember is, well, if I created this thing because it was my responsibility, so it was my thoughts, my actions, my behaviors over time that led me to this point. If I change those thoughts, actions, and behaviors and so on, well, then I can create a new reality that's in line with the possibility that I actually exist as well, rather than just the problem. So we can create a new reality by taking responsibility for ourselves, but not looking to now just shift the blame and then shame ourselves and make ourselves feel like shit. You know, we've probably felt like shit enough going through this period of time where we've had a body that we weren't happy with, that was overweight, that was tired, lethargic, maybe achy and stiff and all the rest of it. And we felt like shit for long enough. And we've struggled with feeling like shit and trying to get to the goal for long enough. So now it's time to go, okay, well, I've had enough of feeling like shit. And because I feel like shit, being unable to do anything about it or consistently take action. So instead, I'll emotionally remove myself from the process and instead bring my physical aspect and just do the things that are necessary. I take responsibility for me. Ultimately, it falls on me. It's my problem, my fault. And if I created this problem, I can change this problem and turn it into a possibility, which, of course, the possibility is you actually getting the results that you want. A body that's fitter, that's leaner, that's stronger, and, of course, healthier, that enables you to show up as the best version of yourself, whether in your business, whether with your partner or with your kids and being an active dad and so on. Like, when we allow ourselves to operate as this subpar version, everything tends to take a hit. Nothing is quite where it could be or should be based on where we've allowed ourselves to stay. Because unfortunately, when we tolerate bullshit within ourselves, we end up tolerating bullshit in the other domains of life as well, because there's this part of us that doesn't feel like we're capable or like we have the capacity to do anything to change it. It's just like, oh, well, this is what I have for me. This is what I have for the business or for my relationships. This is the level or the peak that I can currently reach. So I'll settle for this. But the truth is, very few of us actually want what we have. It's not that it's all bad. It's just we want more because we understand that more is available. But the catch is, more is only available in the other domains when we prove to ourselves that more is available in our health and in our body. When we can prove to ourselves that we can take care of ourselves, that proves to us that actually, maybe I can do this shit. Maybe if I can give more to me, I can give more to my business, and I can give more to my relationship with my partner and my relationship with my kids. And ultimately, I can elevate all domains of life at the same time because I've learned how to take responsibility for myself and take care of me first. I say this all the time, but we first have to learn how to almost be selfish before we can be selfless. We need to make sure that our cup runneth over in the respect that we have an excess or an abundance available in terms of energy, resources, vitality that we can give to these other things so that they don't feel like they're constantly sacrificing us or like we're sacrificing ourselves in favor of them. Because that's what we can often do, particularly as busy entrepreneurs, and we've got the business and the family and things to take care of. We often end up sacrificing everything for the game of chasing the money and serving the business, and leaving very little in reserve for ourselves and quite often our family and partner and so on too. So if we can get this balance right and go, okay, well, I know I'm not really taking care of me enough. And because of that, because I'm showing a lack of respect to myself, that means ultimately I'm showing a lack of respect in other domains as well. So if I can now divert some of this attention and energy to me so that I can elevate and actually have the body and the confidence and the energy that I want and need, well, now I can serve the other domains at a higher level too, and ultimately create a life where I have it all. I have a body that's on fire, a business that's on fire, relationships that are on fire, and a sense of confidence and certainty within myself that allows me to maintain all of these domains at the highest level possible. So my question for you guys tonight is, are you willing to take responsibility for yourself, regardless of who's to blame, what's gone on in the past? Are you ready to step up and take responsibility for yourself from today so that you can start to make the necessary changes? Doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be profound, just has to be a change that will actually move the needle. Maybe it's a small change in nutrition. Maybe you're just going to make sure you get more protein in. Maybe it's a small change in movement where, okay, well, I don't really think I could go to the gym every day, but I'll make sure I get 30 minutes of walking in every day. It can be a real small change, but it's going to have a big effect or a big compound effect on the back end as long as you stay consistent with it. And we want to keep it as simple as possible in the beginning, because that will then give us the time needed to prove to ourselves that we can get results through small changes. And then when we build that confidence, we can start to make greater changes in multiple domains at the same time and essentially start elevating all of life. All of that because you started taking care of yourself and making sure your body was on fire first so that you could then essentially ignite the rest of your life. Any questions on this, people? Drop them in the comments below. Or if you want to go through this and I can show you the exact 4-step blueprint that I use with myself and my clients in order to make sure that we're constantly staying fit, lean, strong, and healthy year long, reach out to me in the DMs, let me know, and we can jump on a quick 15-minute call. I can show you the exact blueprint, how it works, and show you how you can install it into your lifestyle and start getting the body that you want in 2024. Take it easy, people. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to chatting with you in my next video.